Today we're going to analyze a message that has been circulating within the Iraqi Dinar community, particularly among online forums and discussion groups that closely follow developments related to potential currency exchanges. The message claims that emails have reportedly been sent to certain redemption center leaders, suggesting that notifications for what is often referred to as the Tier 4B Internet Group could be expected Sunday night, which many people are interpreting as Monday morning. According to the message, the reasoning behind this timing is that call centers and redemption centers would not be operating on Sunday, which would make Monday the earliest practical window for notifications. The same message also suggests that exchanges could potentially begin on Tuesday. Whenever information like this begins circulating within the Dinar community, it naturally attracts a lot of attention. For many followers of Iraqi Dinar developments, these types of updates are closely watched because they seem to offer insight into potential timelines. However, it's extremely important to approach such claims carefully and analytically. Much of the information circulating in online communities comes from unofficial sources, and historically, many rumored timelines have come and gone without confirmation from official financial institutions. To properly understand this situation, it helps to first clarify what these references mean. The term Tier 4B Internet Group is not an official designation used by central banks or international financial authorities. Instead, it is a term that has developed within online communities that discuss possible future currency exchanges. In those discussions, Tier 4B is typically used to describe retail investors or members of internet groups who hold Iraqi Dinar and are waiting for potential exchange opportunities. Similarly, the concept of redemption centers has become widely discussed in these circles. In many online conversations, redemption centers are described as special locations where individuals might exchange certain currencies under specific procedures. However, it's important to note that there has been no public confirmation from major financial authorities such as the Central Bank of Iraq, the US Treasury, or large international banks confirming the existence of any special redemption centers dedicated specifically to Iraqi Dinar exchange programs. Because of that, when we hear statements suggesting that emails have been sent to redemption center leaders, analysts usually look for additional confirmation before drawing conclusions. Financial markets and global currency systems typically operate through formal announcements, regulatory filings, and official banking channels rather than through informal email updates shared within private networks. Another key element mentioned in the message is the idea of an ODE 100 number being released for participants. In many Dinar discussions, this number is described as a phone line that would allow holders of the currency to schedule appointments for exchanges. The idea behind it is that such a number would help organize large numbers of people who might want to participate in exchanges at the same time. From a logistical perspective, the concept of scheduling appointments for currency exchanges is not unrealistic. Banks often use appointment systems for large financial transactions or specialized services. However, the specific scenario described in many Dinar discussions, where a single widely distributed phone number triggers a nationwide exchange process, has not been verified by mainstream financial institutions. The message also suggests that notifications might arrive Monday morning and that exchanges could begin Tuesday. If we step back and analyze this claim from a broader financial perspective, it raises several questions that economists and market observers usually consider. First, any large-scale currency exchange process would normally require coordination across multiple levels of the financial system. This includes central banks, commercial banks, regulatory authorities, and international settlement systems. Such coordination typically involves official announcements, banking guidelines, and clear regulatory instructions to ensure transparency and stability. Second, large financial events tend to generate documentation that becomes visible in financial reporting channels. Central banks regularly publish monetary policy updates, banking instructions, and currency regulations. If a major new exchange framework were being introduced, analysts would expect to see signs of it in official statements or regulatory changes. At this point in time, there have been no confirmed announcements from the Central Bank of Iraq indicating a sudden global exchange process linked to specific internet groups. The Iraqi dinar itself is an official national currency, and its exchange rate is determined through policies set by the Central Bank of Iraq, along with market dynamics in international currency markets. That said, discussions like this continue to gain traction in the dinar community because people are closely watching Iraq's economic development. Over the past several years, Iraq has been working on a variety of financial reforms. These include efforts to stabilize the currency, modernize the banking system, strengthen digital payment infrastructure, and reduce the gap between official exchange rates and parallel market rates. For example, one of the ongoing economic challenges in Iraq has been the difference between the official exchange rate and the rate seen in informal or street markets. The Iraqi government and the central bank have implemented policies aimed at reducing that gap, including adjustments to foreign currency sales mechanisms and tighter regulations on dollar transactions. These types of reforms are important because they help improve confidence in the financial system. A stable and transparent currency environment can encourage foreign investment, support trade, and strengthen Iraq's overall economic position. However, these reforms typically happen gradually through policy adjustments rather than through sudden overnight currency exchange events. Short-term implications for dinar followers largely revolve around expectations and sentiment. When messages suggesting specific timelines circulate widely, they often create waves of optimism and speculation. If the predicted events do not occur, the community may experience disappointment or confusion. This cycle of expectation and delay has occurred many times in the past within the dinar community. Analysts often advise viewers to focus on verifiable economic indicators rather than unconfirmed timelines. These indicators include official exchange rate policies, banking reforms, government budget developments, and progress in Iraq's economic diversification. From a short-term perspective, the Iraqi dinar's value is influenced primarily by monetary policy decisions made by the Central Bank of Iraq. These decisions include currency auctions, foreign exchange reserves management, and inflation control measures. None of these processes typically rely on sudden announcements directed at private internet groups. Looking at the longer-term picture, Iraq's economic trajectory is closely tied to several structural factors. Oil exports remain a central pillar of the country's economy, providing a significant portion of government revenue. Global oil prices, therefore, play a major role in shaping Iraq's fiscal capacity and financial stability. Another important factor is the modernization of Iraq's banking sector. In recent years, Iraq has been working with international organizations to strengthen financial transparency, improve anti-money laundering compliance, and expand digital payment systems. These efforts are designed to integrate Iraq more fully into the global financial system. If these reforms continue successfully, they could gradually strengthen confidence in Iraq's financial institutions and its national currency. However, this kind of economic progress usually unfolds over years rather than days or weeks. It's also important to understand that currency valuation is a complex process influenced by multiple economic variables. These include inflation rates, trade balances, foreign reserves, interest rate policies, and political stability. No single rumor or message circulating online can override the broader mechanisms that determine exchange rates in the global financial system. For individuals who follow Iraqi dinar developments, the most reliable approach is to track official economic announcements and credible financial reporting. This includes updates from the Central Bank of Iraq, international financial organizations, and recognized economic analysts who study Iraq's monetary policy. Returning to the specific claim about notifications arriving Monday morning and exchanges starting Tuesday, the key takeaway is that there is currently no official confirmation supporting that timeline. While such messages may generate excitement within certain communities, they should be treated as unverified information until confirmed by credible financial authorities. In the world of global finance, transparency and official documentation are essential. Major financial events are rarely communicated through informal channels alone. Instead, they are usually accompanied by public statements, regulatory notices, and clear operational guidelines for banks and financial institutions. For that reason, responsible analysis always emphasizes verification. If any significant changes involving the Iraqi dinar were to occur, they would likely be reflected in official banking communications, international financial news coverage, and policy announcements from Iraqi authorities. Until then, discussions about specific dates, email notifications, or exchange appointments remain part of ongoing speculation within the dinar community rather than confirmed economic developments. As always, the best strategy for anyone following the Iraqi dinar is to stay informed, remain patient, and rely on credible information sources. Economic reforms in Iraq are real and ongoing, but they are complex processes that unfold over time. Understanding those processes helps create a clearer and more realistic perspective on what developments may or may not occur in the future.